Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Empires of Steel episode 4, and let's jump right into it. So we are setting our transport over here to do a little bit more scouting. We did discover some food over here by, I can't even see that right now because I'm zoomed so far away. It's this city right here, Pagoda. And Pagoda actually needs some research right now, or not research, some production. So I did mention that I wanted to produce something here. Ooh, paratroopers. We got paratroopers now. Interesting. That actually really would come in handy. But let's drop a transport in the production queue maybe, or a destroyer. Let's get a destroyer. That'll kind of help boost our navy a little bit, as well as help us do a lot more scouting off in this area. So we've got Pagoda here. We are moving our military kind of down into this region to collect together and hopefully go out and capture Sydney and maybe a couple of these other cities over here. Transport's not having any luck finding anything. That destroyer is going to take 8.5 turns. That is good to know, as that is a little bit of time there. And research, we were working on getting missile launchers. After missile launchers, let's go for... let's see. Let's start working on our navy a little bit. I would like to get a navy pumped out soon here. So we'll get basic research, ship research 1, and then let's just queue up all of these in no particular order. Whatever order I just clicked on. We also left off last time with the Canadians and the Nazis at war with each other, and I can't really see who's winning. I'm kind of curious to know. But at the same time, I'm just going to kind of let that be. Let those two hash it out. And I'm going to swoop in and hopefully take one of them out when they least expect it. So since this transport over here is getting done, look at that. A level 7 oil as soon as I got over here. After that, let's just go like that right across. I think that is the best plan for me there. We're going to join this infantry group up with that tank. That gives us a really nice set of units there, and I'm gonna need them to take Sydney, because Sydney is a fairly well protected city with a what appears to be veteran or seasoned veteran. Yeah, a veteran plus 20% attack militia. But 2 veteran infantry class 2s with a tank should be no issue. And I believe that's actually, if I remember correctly, that is a class 2 tank. Yes, it is. I would love to get a class 3 out there. Destroyer is going to be 4 turns. Okay. Awesome. So we've now captured Sydney, which is important for a lot of reasons. But the main reason is going to be launching, hopefully, some type of air from Sydney. I want Sydney to kind of be our main air city, to be able to launch attacks against the Nazis and the Canadians. Because Sydney's kind of forward front. It's the most forward front city, unless I'm going over here to Shanghai or Cairo or Houston or Kano or whatever that is. Shanghai is really the only forward city, so Sydney's pretty much going to be our bang for buck. Let's get a factory there and a radar and a barracks. And we're going to leave our troops on there, especially since that infantry unit is damaged. We've got a message here, continued peace. So basically just the Nazis telling me our continued peace has been a benefit to our people and our nations. Whatever makes you feel better, Nazis. Don't think I'm not coming for you, because I am. All right, we deviated there a little bit and grabbed ourselves 7 food. Very good, especially with the 4 food that's coming up over here. It's definitely not going to be an issue. Production 8. New York is sitting at production 14, producing 10 wealth per turn. I'm gonna kind of queue up some stuff here. So let's get a tank. Let's get 2 infantry and a missile launcher. Let me just make sure that none of those cost crazy amounts of food. So it should all be 1 food, 1 food, and 1 food. That is going to be a division, or a small little kind of military division, which will help us forward advance. I'm thinking about maybe taking either the Nazis or the Canadians off guard, and maybe wrecking them whilst they're at war with each other. but we'll have to see how that turns out. There we go, getting an oil as well. Okay, I would like to get somewhat of a military setup, or a navy setup too, sometime in the future. We've got a destroyer coming out. Since I don't really know what is next or what my food's going to look like after I produce that military unit that I just pumped out, let's go for an oil refinery, and then let's just produce wealth after that. We'll have a destroyer, so that'll be perfectly fine. Once I see what the situation looks like in food, I will look towards building our navy up a little bit larger. Now let's grab our biplane, send him down to Sydney. That'll allow me to do a little bit more searching around. That actually gives me a fantastic idea. I'm going to go into research here. Oop, what do we got here? What city is this? Sydney? You're getting ready to finish your barracks. Get me, just produce wealth for now. Kind of got a lot of, even if I went negative on the food, I've got so much cash. Speaking of cash, what am I doing here? Let's just crank this up to just crazy amounts here. We're just gonna, oh, maybe not that much because I am only making plus 18. Let me see what that looks like after I do my turn. No, plus 29. Okay, so we'll just crank up that that military or that research and see how that goes. We found 5 food there. We're sitting at 17. I'm still pumping units out there. These guys are both healing, which is good. We're going to use the biplane here to do a little bit of scouting down there into enemy territory, see what we're looking at. And then this unit here, why don't we start marching them off over this way? Because I think I might look at taking some of those cities over there. And Singapore appears to be captured by one of the teams. Okay, so we know now that the red is Nazis because I saw that 7 food there, which I have my eye on now because I really want. That 7 food is actually owned by the Nazis. So we've got the Nazis very south of us with what appears to be the Canadian border coming up over here on the north of Singapore. So the Canadians own Singapore, I'm guessing. Nothing wrong with that. We're about to grab another 4 food. And we need more research orders. Okay. So what do we want to research next? We're about to finish the destroyer. Not going to worry about a transport class 3. Things are starting to get really interesting here. A fertilizer factory. Food production plus 4. Yes. Definitely want to go towards the fertilizer factory. Let's get the Air Force base out. And let's start going for that nuclear power plant and upgrade our artillery up to class 3. We're going to upgrade all possible units since that's the main thing cash is used for, is upgrading units. Snagging this 4 food there. Nothing wrong with that. By the time this... Oh, there it is. I forgot that I got the destroyer. I was about to say by the time the destroyer is out, my transport would be down here to capture this food, but I forgot that the destroyer has actually been done for a minute. So we'll head over here and snag this 4 food. New York is producing the missile launcher, so it's almost finished with that. Once it's done, that'll be that for New York's production, and then I'll probably set it to produce cash. Let's upgrade all possible units here as well as we can. Let's actually stop right here in Sydney real quick so I can get those units upgraded. So we're going to hit the upgrade all possible units again. Food was captured. They're sending me more messages, nothing really too important. They're basically just telling me that they're happy that we've got continued peace with each other. So yay for peace. Grab our biplane here, do a little bit of scouting up this way. We've also got a substantially large military force sitting here. Somebody's coming up that road there, so let's march down to this food and kind of put up an opposing force. Because you can see the little circle there indicating that somebody's coming up. We're going to leave this here because that blue line there signifies that this guy is actually doing an upgrade. So we'll leave those there. I want to see who's coming up here. Okay, whoever it was has left, it appears. New York is finished building their units. Let's see what we've got in store for us next. How about we queue up maybe 2 paratroopers and then have it produce wealth. And we'll take all of this and just turn it into a big group. Nice sized force there. I haven't decided if I want to go to war with the Canadians or the Nazis yet. Since the Nazis are directly south of me, I think they're the ones I'll probably go to war with. So let's get on down here, sit on this gold here. And then that'll give me 2 forces nearby in the area because that 7 food there looks mighty enticing, and it's definitely going to be the first thing I go for if I go to war with the Nazis. Okay, let's grab this small artillery and infantry unit and send them over to take Kano there, or Kano, however you want to pronounce it. And the biplane, I'm just going to leave here in Sydney because Sydney is going to be kind of my Air Force area. So I want to get an air base up there as soon as I get the research for it, which is on its way right now, actually. There we go. We found 3 oil over there. Our transport is completely finished. Let's send him down this way. And we'll grab up our destroyer and move him off over by Houston. I could actually probably do some bombarding here with our destroyer, but I won't worry too much about it. I want to see if these cities are captured by the Canadians. I don't believe they are because I think that border grows to kind of show me, even with the fog of war, I can kind of see where the enemy has expanded their borders, so I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. Wow, 8 food right there. Holy crap. 2 paratroopers here, so how does that work? Can I drop them anywhere? It looks like I can. Definitely useful. Alright, we've got 12 production, 9, 15 in New York. Sydney has 14 production. Let's get another, let's see. I would like to get a small, what am I trying to think? A small fleet out there maybe, just to have. Let's go for the fertilizer factory, Air Force Base, back into units and pump out a destroyer. I'll pump out 2 destroyers. Alright, and advancing forward, I'm actually going to jump right here into the technology screen. And the next thing we're definitely going to push for is fighters and bombers. Yep, we're going to go for fighters and bombers here. I get an Air Force built up because it's the one thing I'm definitely lacking in right now is Air Force. And then actually with the building of an Air Force, I'm going to need flat guns. So we're going to get some flat guns put out, and I might station them in some key strategic locations, maybe outside of these hills here. I like this mountain range right here because that really isolates my main capital region from the rest of the area and kind of gives me some extra protection. Alright, the Canadians will not like it if I drift off into their border. They will say something about it, so that is always something to keep in mind. Let's come down this way. Not that I don't think I fear them yet, but I have not seen the other enemy or nation's military might yet. What was that? Something just floated past us. A Bell Destroyer Class 2. I only have a Destroyer Class 1. So I will need to do some upgrading very soon. And he's actually in my territory. I could probably actually tell them to get out of my territory, but I won't worry about it right now. Alright, so this force is ready to march on to Kano. Let's do that. We're going to bombard the target a little bit, see if we can't take out that infantry guy with our artillery, and once we do that, we'll send our invading forces in there and capture the city. There we go. So we got some bombarding going on there. Let's take our transport and actually decommission him now because I have no interest in using a transport to build for landing force. And let's take our destroyer here and send him over this way towards Kano. Because what we'll do is we'll get him inside there once it's captured and hopefully get him upgraded to the next level. Just keep skipping some turns here. Alright, how's this place looking? We have not damaged the military unit yet, but I do think that we are definitely doing some damage on the city. We'll actually go for destroy garrison. As for here, do we need anything that can be upgraded? He needs an upgrade, but he's not in port yet. Okay. Ooh, Sydney, what do I want you to build? You're building a destroyer class 2, which would be useful. And then let's definitely get you a shipyard if I'm going to be building a couple of stuff there. As for New York, you're producing money. Let's go into here and get you a uranium refinery and an Air Force base. Uranium refinery, actually, let me take a look at that. Should Create weapons-grade plutonium for nuclear weapons. Destruction of refinery halts production of nuclear weapons that are in progress. Nuclear weapons would be nice. Definitely nice to get my hands on. There we go. We've captured Kano there, so we're going to just queue up our destroyer to head on into that city, and we definitely want to start doing some city improvements here. Let's get a shipyard up, since I'm going to use Kano to build up our navy, and we'll also get a factory up and a radar up right off the bat. Take our destroyer and send him on into Kano. And the military units that are in here, let's send them maybe off into, let's see. Sydney's got my plane. Let's send them down to this fort. This turn's taking a second to process, which means there's probably a lot of battles going on somewhere. As I guess these guys are really hashing it out. Are they still at war with each other? They are still at war with each other. I'm hoping maybe next turn to start, or next episode to start kind of moving on to one of these guys. I'm thinking the Nazis, and really start putting the pressure on. Maybe prepare myself for war. I want to have a small navy up when that time comes, and I would like to have an air force up as well, but I don't think I'm ready for that just yet. I'm not ready for that. Let's get the uranium refinery and the nuclear power plant up in this city once the destroyer's done, as well as the shipyard. Actually, no. Oops. Cancel the shipyard there. I definitely want the shipyard down, because that's going to help our destroyer. Yeah, let's do the shipyard first, then we'll go for the destroyer. After the destroyer, I think I'm going to pump out some submarines as well. And you need upgrading, so let's send you up to Sydney. Alright. You're about to finish radar. You have enough improvements to actually get some good naval units out. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 submarines. How much food do submarines cost us? 1 food. Yeah, let's get 4 submarines. That'll give us a nice submarine fleet to kind of sit around and scout in the other territories, and hopefully they won't be able to see us. Working on the flat gun now. We could get a V2 missile. That'll be pretty useful. Tank class 3 would be even more useful. Artillery class 4. Submarine class 2. We'll queue that up. Fishing management. Seafood multiplier national. Ooh, yes. We've got a lot of food out here in the ocean, so this will give us a massive boost. And then after that, look at that. That looks really good. Let's go for fighter and some bombers, and then we'll get the V2 missile after that. And let's upgrade all units here, since I have an artillery piece and a plane that needs upgrading. Alright, New York, you finished up what appears to be the Air Force base. Let's get a nuclear power plant for you. And then after a nuclear power plant, maybe, let's see, you have a production of 15. I could pump out some fighters and tactical bombers and fly them down to Sydney. Let's get 2 bombers. Or 3, 4. Let's get a fleet of bombers going. Okay, Nazis are kind of looking a little hairy. And they're definitely not going to touch that gold, though, that's for sure. Alright. Should have this fighter completely finished now. And he could travel a lot farther, so let's take a look down here and see what things are looking like in other parts there. We've got our Destroyer Class 2 completely finished. And where are you? You're just chilling right here. Let's add you to this unit here. And then maybe we'll march them up and take Cairo and Houston and Shanghai. Just get really crazy, take over this whole area. Ooh, Nazis, what are you doing there? You look like you're marching some artillery up towards my area. I hope you don't think... Maybe they're trying to get around to Singapore. I sure hope you don't think you're going to come through me. because I'm definitely not going to let you do that. So just be ready for that right now. Let's get an oil refinery up. This is Sydney. So let's actually not do the oil refinery. Sydney has a fighter already. I've got 4 tactical bombers coming out. Let's push out one more fighter. Yeah, let's go for one more fighter. Lots of oil, lots of food, lots of steel, lots of cash. Just everything is looking really good right now. Okay, money and money. Pagoda. Pagoda. Let's take a look at you. All right. Let's go for... do I want to get... Let's get Pagoda to build me some more... Another army. So let's go for 2 infantry, 2 tanks, and a missile launcher. Nazis kind of just traveling through. They are pointed towards me like they're coming up my road. So where... They could be trying to pull a sneak move on me. Nope, they turned around. So I guess they're probably still heading towards Canada. Now would be a pretty good time to declare war because I could actually take that artillery out. But I'll actually do that next episode. Alright, we're about to finish the fighter there. That'll give me 2 fighters, 4 bombers. Alright, we'll go for the nuclear power plant and the uranium refinery. There we go. Alright, we've got both of our fighters finished, so I'm gonna, let's see, we're actually gonna keep the fighters there. I've got 1 bomber finished here, and I'm going for 3 more bombers. So once all of these bombers are finished, I'm gonna fly them down to Sydney, attach them with the 2 fighters, and then I'll have an Air Force pretty much ready to go. And there's this neat feature you can actually do with these guys where you can construct an airfield just randomly on the map somewhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually construct an airfield. Let's see. Probably construct an airfield on this fort maybe, or no, probably right here in this intersection I'll construct an airfield, and then I'm going to leave my defense force there, this little group here. I'm going to leave that on top of the airfield, launch my 4 bombers, 2 fighters down there, and then that's going to give me perfect range of the Nazis, because I think that is who we are actually going to go to war with, is the Nazis. So we are out of time for this episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.